Hey, Joe.
Hey, Hal.
Hey, people.
Hey, people of the world.
Yeah, hello, and welcome back to the Flack podcast.
It's lovely to have you here. Welcome. We're on episode 4 now.
Yeah, episode 4. We took a little bit of a break. We needed it, not because of you.
Well, not explicitly, but
No, creative differences.
really wouldn't go into it.
Yeah.
But it's lovely to be back. You know, we settled the differences, and here we are, ready to brighten all your lives with interesting nuggets and
Ugh.
oh no, like factual nuggets.
Factual nuggets. It's just a bad choice of words, not nuggets. Well, if this is the first episode, this is going to be a bit of a misnomer in a sense for you, because normally our first segment
Yes.
would be a rant.
It's time for a rant. Now, you've told me before we've started recording today that you've immediately messed up our formula, our tried and trusted 2-segment formula with a bit of a week on the end, and you're immediately changing up the flack of the class flack, and you're bringing to me something a bit different today.
Yeah, well, it's still in a sense, a flack, but, because, the times are tough at the moment. I thought, we'll still do some flack, but do something a bit more jovial.
Ooh.
A bit more fun.
I like it.
So it's still taking the piss out of something, but in a more ironic / satirical sense.
Wow. You've really whet my appetite.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what you've got for me.
So there's a little bit of context first, which you'll be able to help me with, actually.
Okay.
So one of our favourite YouTubers, a fella, well, he's more hosts a show on a gaming magazine website channel, and he hosts his own show. A fella called Brian David Gilbert.
Love him.
Yeah.
Incredible guy.
Yeah, you introduced him to me. Actually.
I did.
Personally. Essentially, his show on Polygon, which is the website he's part of, is he takes an unusual analytical twist on a particular part of gaming.
Yeah, sure.
Good example is he analysed all of the Super Smash Bros levels and how they incite OSHA violations.
Yes, incredible health and safety for Smash Brothers. Couldn't recommend it enough. It's the show's called Unraveled. For a weird plug to something we're in no way associated with. Great if we were. Go watch Unraveled on YouTube. It's brilliant.
Yeah, Unraveled Polygon by Brian David Gilbert.
Byron.
Did I say Byron?
Pretty sure it's
Good. But yeah, so we're doing another one of the things he's done recently is calculating the HP level and HP of your pet.
Yes.
So obviously I had to do it for Bruce.
Absolutely you did.
And it involved observing him throughout the day and assessing not only his level but his class and obviously his HP if he were a D&D character or something to that effect. He is a level 29 ranger.
Yeah, I see that immediately. Looking at him now snoozing his little pod, I can see him reasonably experienced cat at the back of a party shooting a bow. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I can't remember exactly how much HP he has, but it was interesting to know that he's a ranger. He's still starting out, but he did rank really, really highly on the criteria of a ranger. I think one of the main things was just ignoring you completely.
Yes, that I can absolutely appreciate. From the small time that I've known Bruce, he doesn't care.
No,
He's straight up. Once he did acknowledge me. He very almost sat on my lap even once, but I think he was just reaching. I think it was when we were eating the muffins.
Yes.
A few weeks back, and he came up and sat on my lap very briefly where crumbs were.
Yeah.
And
was interested and said crumbs.
He built up my hopes, and he dashed them immediately.
Yeah. So again, another good example of the kind of over ridiculous, ironic analysis of video game components or mechanics of games. But I've got another one for us to do today. So I've come prepared.
Yes.
Today we're going to be working through another one of his lengthy forms, we should say. Do you want to read what the title is, Joe?
So we're doing the Kojima name generator.
Yes. So you've probably seen like BuzzFeed articles or stuff like that where what Pokemon are you? What's your Lord of the Rings name? And it's just, I don't know, it's a list of words.
And they something very slightly more advanced than what's your date of birth and what's your the first letter of your surname, and I promise I'm not trying to get your security information to hack into all your accounts, kind of.
Exactly, yeah. But what we have here is a Kojima, and we'll just briefly explain who and what that entails.
For the tiny section of our audience that isn't intimately familiar with Hideo Kojima,
yeah.
Do you want to give us a little rundown of what the man does?
Yeah, so Metal Gear Solid.
Metal Gear Solid, yeah.
Basically, that's his main kind of that series is his I want to say magnum opus. Would say he's probably one of the closest things that video games have to a true auteur. He has a very specific style.
Yes.
That just washes over all of his games. One of the most recent games that's come out since his departure from Konami, Death Stranding, to the uninitiated, that game looks fucking weird.
Yeah, to the initiated too.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I would count myself as the uninitiated, being fairly versed in video games and knowing who Kojima is, and I still have no idea what the fuck that game's about.
It's art with a capital A and a big old question mark.
And then a TM at the end.
And then a TM.
Trademark. So he's known for very, especially in his characters, they've got a very unique style. Some of them are, and a lot of this will be explained through this.
Yeah, sure.
This generator. They're very on the nose. They're very cliche. They're as cheesy as cheese can be.
He does weird names.
Yeah. Imagine someone who overcompensates, tries to be badass, but doesn't actually know what badass is, has only just watched a load of 80s action films. Your Running Man, your Terminator. Oh, Terminator's too cool, I think.
Terminator's cool. Maybe more Tron.
Yeah, Tron, Commando.
Sure.
Yeah, those kind of things. A very loose, isolated grasp on Western media, and then has made an entire livelihood out of that. And we will... This is why this is kind of ribbing him a little bit. This is why this is giving a bit of flack, because
bit of flack to Kojima.
Yeah, because I think it's absolutely ridiculous. But watching the video, and I'll link it into the show notes to that video, and the way you can find this and do it yourself. It's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. So it's a name generator with a bit more to it, and by a bit more to it, it's an 11-page document.
I mean, a lot of these are short essay answers.
Yes, there will be a lot.
Long essay answers.
Yeah, no, there is some long. I'm not actually going to get you to fill that out and write that down. I think it is literally.
No, I'm all on board.
Yeah,
we're all in.
So the other thing we need as well is, so we've got the form, we've got a pen, we know ourselves, and by the end of this, we will know
we'll know ourselves better than we ever possibly could by the end of this.
And each other, yeah. We also need a set of a full set of die, but I'm just going to use the Google dice because
disappointing, to be honest. I expected a little bit more kind of hands-on from you. But one of these is definitely asking for a 100-sided die, and I'm pretty disappointed that you don't have that to hand.
So section 1, let's get cracking.
Yeah, let's do it.
So section 1, Kojima often creates characters that have many alternate names. So for instance, Big Boss, Solid Snake. I think that's all one character. I don't know. Was it Liquid Snake?
There's a Liquid Snake, there's a Solid Snake. I'm pretty sure there's a Naked Snake.
Venom Snake?
There's a lot of snakes.
Yeah.
They're all men. They all do army stuff.
Some of them are the same person, some of them are not.
Sometimes
I don't
they're
know.
hiding in a box.
Yep.
Other times,
sometimes they are a box.
Sometimes they are the box.
So first we have to decide whether or not we have more than one name. So to do this, I'm going to roll a d6. And if you get 1 to 5, you have one name.
Yep.
If you roll a 6, you have one name plus 6 other alternative names.
Which is going to extend this podcast to about 4 hours.
Yeah. Well, the recording, as I said, I'm going to edit this belligerently.
Let's roll those 6s, baby.
So I've got a 4.
Okay.
So I have one name. Yep. And you have a 2. So we both got one name. Good.
We're just doing the one. Okay.
Good. That's fine. Which is good because I've just read section 2. If you rolled a 6, you must do this worksheet 6 more times. So the alternate names don't actually get covered in the end of this sheet. Nope. All of this is just for one name.
Oh, wow. No, I'm pumped.
Okay, so let's start filling out. So Section 2, personal information.
Mm-hmm.
Kojima's characters have names that are directly related to their own character traits. This information will make sure your name fits your personality. So what's your full name, Joe?
That would be Joseph Andrew Ellis Goddard.
Jesus Christ, I thought mine was lengthy. Mine's just Anthony Hal Dimond.
You thought yours was a long name. You have 3 names. You have the entirely average number of names, and one of them is 1 syllable.
Yeah, but they're in the wrong order. And what do you do at your occupation?
I do IT stuff.
Yeah, I also do IT stuff. Well, at the moment, I'm a professional bum, so I'm going to put that.
You put bum.
Yeah.
You know one of your names is now going to be bum.
Yeah. Oh, what do you do at your occupation? No, I don't do bum.
You do bum? No, that's...
I'm going to just do bum about. There we go.
Oh, what do I do? Okay. What do I do at my occupation? I fix computers.
Well, I mean, IT stuff.
No, IT stuff is fair. Yeah, let's stick with IT stuff.
Yeah. 2A. Condense the verb in your answer into a single noun. E.g., if you are a sheep farmer, your answer will be farmer. So I'm a bummer.
You started strong.
Not how I thought that would play out, but that's fine.
Oh no, is my verb stuff?
You're a stuffer.
I'm a stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's either that or you're a computer error.
Oh, computer. Let's do it.
Yep.
That's more Kojima-y.
Yeah.
Computer. Well, there is computer. That's already in.
This is true.
Computer.
Computer, yeah. So question 3. What was your first pet specific species/breed?
First pet was a rabbit.
Yeah.
I can't... Does anyone know more specific breeds of rabbit? I think the answer is probably rabbit.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to use Bruce. He wasn't technically my first pet.
He's the most important one to you right now.
Yeah, he's my life. He is my rock.
Mm-hmm.
So should I go cat or British Shorthair?
Go British Shorthair.
Well, he does say specific species.
Specific,
doesn't he?
yeah.
Well, that's
I knew
breed.
The more
Oh no, breed. Yeah.
If I knew the more specific breed of rabbit, then obviously I would go for that. But I was very young and very clueless, and I think now would not be able to answer you any more clearly.
Question 4. This has taken a bit of a left turn. What's your most embarrassing childhood memory?
Immediately to hand. On holiday with the extended family, cousins and aunts and uncles and grandma and granddad in Portugal.
Yep.
We were at an Italian restaurant in the Algarve in Portugal.
Mm-hmm.
I was a bit of a weird kid.
Yeah.
Just in general. You know, things have changed now. I'm obviously king of cool. For some reason, I was it was getting to the end of the meal and I was a bit impatient. I think it sounds better if I say that I was quite young. I think in reality I was old enough to not be picking up a single piece of spaghetti and just kind of twirling it around in my hand, which is what I was doing.
Yeah.
And then accidentally let go of that piece of spaghetti and it flew down a lady's dress, down the back of her dress on a neighbouring table.
Oh boy.
And she squealed and her partner, who was quite a big burly guy, came over to the table and was like, what the hell is going on here?
Yep.
And I sat very silently and was petrified and did not say any words. Is that specific enough?
Yeah, that's pretty specific. So
that one really stuck with me.
Yeah. So to sum that up, condense that story into 2 words.
A spaghetti fling.
Spaghetti fling. Okay. So the one that springs to mind is that I remember a Christmas when I was real young. So I have I don't know if it's a phobia or I think it's more of just a mental block, but I cannot sing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember when I was, because of this story, I used to be part of, you know what it was like in primary school or the first school or whatever. You had to sing at pretty much every Christmas show, assembly.
Yes.
There was never no singing.
There was always singing.
There was always singing,
always weirdly religious singing.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. Even like current pop hits or stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was always, I mean, the song in particular that I'm going to reference was Angels by Robbie Williams. Very religious. No, I used to really enjoy singing. We were up on stage. We were singing, a whole class, so a good 20 to 30 of small pre-10-year-old kids belting away to Angels by Robbie Williams. And I was really just pouring my heart out to this. And this girl, I can't remember who it was, but this girl next to me just gave me this look. Just a frown.
That's not a good look.
No. what the fuck are you doing? Look, I was just singing.
You just
I
wanted to sing Robbie Williams.
I just wanted to sing Robbie Williams, and somehow that managed to just disgust this girl. And since then,
sorry for
I
this.
have never been able to sing.
Wow.
Not in churches, not singing hymns, in crowds, just not been able to do it.
This is on record now,
Yeah.
so I guess I have a new life goal.
Yeah.
We're going to make this happen.
No. I've just remembered her name as well, so I'm going to condense this story to Disgusting Stacey.
Just to clarify, was the embarrassing moment that you disgusted Stacey?
Yes.
Or did you just find Stacey a bit disgusting?
Yeah, that's right. I disgusted Stacey.
Okay,
that's
cool,
right.
cool, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, this is past tense. I still don't disgust her. So, question 5. What is the object you'd least like to be stabbed by?
Yeah, something I think about a lot.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I can answer this one pretty straight up. I just reckon...
Can you?
Yeah, just a rusty spike.
Yeah, rusty spikes are never good.
No, because not only are you getting stabbed, but you're getting, like, contaminated.
No, that's fair enough.
Yeah. Just a big old rusty spike. Like, think top of a fence post or something. Those, what are they called? Iron fences, steel fences.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
A metal fence.
I'd probably just go for like a used needle.
Oh, yeah, that's
That's
bad.
no good. No,
Yeah.
no one would have fun with that.
Yeah. Okay. What is something you are good at? Verb ending in ing.
What am I good at? Let's evaluate my my strengths right now.
Yep.
I am good at ukuleleing, which is a word, and I'm going to pretend that it is.
Is it?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Good enough for me.
Yeah.
What are you good at, Hal?
Disappointing.
Oh no, you went really you went a different route to me there.
I don't know. What am I good at? Oh dear.
What are you good at, Hal?
It
Look
is
deep
hard.
into the soul. I went very surface level with mine. You went very metaphysical.
Yeah. I've been told I've got a nice speaking voice.
You have got a lovely speaking voice. That's actually the only reason that I do this podcast with you.
Thanks. I'll take that. Yeah. Okay. So speaking. I'm good at
You
speaking.
are
Not
good.
talking because I can't.
No.
No. But speaking. I'll take it.
Here's one near and dear to my heart.
Mm-hmm.
How many carrots do you believe you could eat in one sitting if someone forced you to eat as many carrots as possible?
I fucking hate carrots.
I could eat so many carrots.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily love it. I assume we're talking standard size carrots, not like your little novelty Christmas carrots that you get. They're all different multicolours and extra leafy. Like a good chunky carrot.
Yeah.
I can get through at least... I reckon I get through 12 carrots.
You want to go for 12?
I'm going to go through 12 carrots.
12 whole carrots?
12 whole carrots. No, 12 half carrots. What do you mean whole carrots?
Carrot sticks.
No. Do you think I could eat 12 carrot sticks? And that's... Oh, I'd really stretch to 12 carrot sticks. No, 12 entire carrots.
No, I'm going to go for 1.
Do you reckon if someone really forces you, you get through a
well,
single
gun to my
carrot?
head, I could probably get through more.
That's such an inoffensive vegetable.
It tastes like soil.
That's bad carrots, my friend.
Maybe. Okay, I'll up it to 4.
Mm-hmm.
4
Okay.
carrots. I'll draw the line at 4, not 5 though.
Mm-hmm.
That would be ridiculous.
No, that would be.
What is your greatest intangible fear? E.g., death, loneliness, fear itself.
Yep. Oh, I came so prepared to this podcast.
Yeah. This is tailor-made for you, basically. Isn't it?
The disappointment of others.
Yeah, I was going to go with failure.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, disappointment for others is a very good one, but I'll do failure
Go
for
for failure. That's fine.
for just
Just
variety is the
variation.
spice of life.
It is, for sure.
Yeah. Failure isn't nor is disappointing of others. What's your greatest tangible fear?
Bit of a weird one.
Mm-hmm.
Stickers. Hate stickers.
Yeah.
Don't come at me with a sticker. I just can't do it. Sticky stuff in... No, what are you reaching for? How? What are you reaching for? Buddy. Buddy.
Oh, just some, adhesive strips.
Ugh, can't do it.
What about these kind of things?
Do I have to touch it?
No.
I'm okay.
Okay.
Specifically, like the kind of...
For reference, that was, one of those double-sided sticky things for mounting pictures to walls.
They're useful. They serve a purpose.
Yeah.
You know what doesn't serve a purpose?
Stickers.
The little stickers that you stick to a jumper of a child if they've done good.
Okay. Yeah.
That kind. Ugh.
Well, no, that does have a purpose.
No.
It lights up a child's day.
Tell them with words. Don't stick disgusting things on. I hate stickers.
I mean, on the subject of ranting, let's put a little bit of rant in there.
Mm-hmm.
CX, places like that, secondhand shops, don't use shitty stickers on DVD cases because they never come off.
They never. No, they're there for life. I mean,
Yeah.
you've got to scrub at it, and then you've got sticky stuff all over your hands, and it never quite gets... Oh, one of my current personal... We'll throw another small rant into there. The variety of different hand sanitizer you get at the moment.
Yeah.
Because you have to go through a lot, and every time you walk into a different shop, there's a different one. And sometimes they're really sticky, and they stick to your hands, and you try and rub it off, and it's just, no.
It does almost the exact opposite of sanitizing your hands.
Yeah.
It's dirty.
I feel dirty.
Yeah, dirty.
Just upsetting. I hate... What's your greatest tangible fear?
Clowns.
Yep, understandable.
They are the worst, and I'm not going to elaborate. What's the last thing you did before starting this worksheet?
What is the last thing I did? I know it wasn't very long ago.
No. Did you have some water?
I had some water to be really interesting. Yeah. I drank some water.
Well, I started a podcast.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah. Question 11. Mm-hmm. What condition is your body currently in?
Peak. The ultimate human form.
Not just your peak.
No.
The peak. Yeah.
Of the human condition. Yeah. I mean, I don't like to brag, but since we're in an audio-only format, peak condition.
Yeah, okay. Well, if you're going to do that, I'll just put trough. I'll use, actually, better, barrel. Favourite state of matter?
I'm a liquid guy.
You're a liquid guy?
Yeah, just it fills the shape of its container, but you still know what's going on with it.
Fair enough.
Like solids, you can't mess about with. Gas, you don't know what's
no
there.
one, no, you can't trust gas.
You can't trust gas. Liquid, you know what it's about, but it's still got something for you.
It's still malleable.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I put solid just because I know where I stand with it.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A word your name kind of sounds like.
My name is Joe. Mm-hmm. It's one syllable and rhymes with almost every word in the English language.
Correct. What's your favourite one?
Oh, that is a challenge. I quite like low, like a low over there, like a really old-fashioned explanation.
I was going to say land.
Land ho also works. We could just put ho.
I'd like ho.
Word.
Yeah.
The garden tool.
Yeah.
We're going
sure,
ho.
The garden tool.
Yeah.
My name.
What does Hal sound a bit like?
Pal.
Pal. Like a good pal.
Yeah.
Sounds a bit like hall.
Yeah, there is hall. I mean,
so that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, the example here is Brian and Brain, and
that's a given, really.
Yeah, let's go.
Choose your fave.
I'll go with Hall.
Sure.
It's not a favourite, but it's the most common misspelling. So
yeah, understandable.
What's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Scorpio.
Yeah, I was writing Gemini. That's not mine.
That's not yours at all.
No, mine's Virgo. I don't know why it's wrong. If you had to define your personality in what word, what would it be?
If you had to define my personality in what word, what would it be?
Yeah.
This is the most difficult question on the questionnaire thus far.
Yeah.
Describe me in one word without greatly insulting or being a bit weird about it.
I mean, I'm trying not to be insulting. I say that as if it's really difficult, but obviously it's not. Kind.
Huh. What a lovely thing to say.
You're welcome.
That's bloody delightful.
Yeah.
I was going to go asshole.
Wow. That's you as a person, not your personality.
True. Sorry, no, I was talking for you.
Oh, okay, asshole. Gotcha. I see what you mean. Right. Yep, no, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Okay, section 3. Kojima information. So Kojima character names reflect his own idiosyncrasies. He can't help himself. So 16. What's your favourite film character?
Note that it must be played by Kurt Russell.
Yes, that is a must.
Right. I can picture Kurt Russell.
Yep.
I can picture a small handful of his roles.
Yeah.
But not enough to name any of them. It's probably Kurt Russell in Tron.
Kurt Russell's not in Tron.
Is he not?
Are you thinking of...
I'm thinking of Jeff Bridges.
You're thinking of Jeff Bridges.
Wow, I really missed the mark there.
Yeah, it's because he really looked like Jeff Bridges.
He really did.
In Guardians of the Galaxy Vol 2.
He did.
Yeah.
What the hell is Kurt Russell in?
I think he's in Lethal Weapon. I'll get the IMDb.
Let's do a little IMDb.
Yeah, I think he's Lethal Weapon, or is that Mel Gibson?
I thought that was Mel Gibson. I might be very wrong.
Oh, I've misremembered Kurt Russell. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
You know what?
As a surprise to nobody, I've seen very few Kurt Russell films.
Yeah.
You know what I have seen that was surprisingly good?
Yep.
Was A Christmas Chronicles. little 2018 Christmas film. It was pretty good. Kurt Russell as a grumpy Santa.
Yep.
It's on. Who is my favourite film character played by Kurt Russell?
Santa Claus.
Claus.
Yep. I would say Stargate, because he plays Colonel Jonathan Jack O'Neill.
Right. Yeah.
But
Yep.
I actually prefer his name in the Fast and the Furious series.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody.
Oh.
Hmm.
Oh.
Well, technically Mr. Nobody, but, we can't take monikers into this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What's the last word of the title of your favourite Kubrick film?
Oh, bomb! It's Dr. Strangelove.
Yeah, you're going to go for
Absolutely.
Strangelove?
Yeah.
I'm going to go for Jacket.
Full Metal Jacket.
Full Metal Jacket.
Strong second.
Yep. What's the first word in the title of your favourite Joy Division album? I don't fucking know Joy Division. Have they got a self-titled album?
Oh God, I can picture the album cover of one Joy Division album.
Yeah.
It's the one with Love Will Tear Us Apart on it.
Oh, they're from Salford.
Where's Salford? Is that your neck of the woods?
No. Not at all. Oh, yeah, they've only got 2 albums.
Yeah, you got 2 choices. You
Closer
pick one, I'll go
or-
for the other.
Okay.
Unknown Pleasures was the album art I was picturing, so we're going Unknown.
So you're going for Unknown.
Mhm.
Oh, I'll go for Closer then. I think
Perfect.
Unknown is rather fitting, though, because, we don't know.
Yeah, I haven't got
Yeah.
a clue.
But fine, I'll go
Maybe
for
we should listen to
Closer.
Joy Division.
Nah. I'm pretty sure that's a lyric.
That's Wombat song, isn't it?
Yeah, it
that's
is.
Joy Division.
Oh, for
Oh,
God's sake.
throwback.
Wombats. What is a scientific term you picked up from listening to NPR once? Right, what is NPR?
NPR, I think, is a radio, but they also do Radio Lab, which is a pretty solid podcast that I listen to going to sleep.
Yeah.
But I listen to it going to sleep. So I've got no idea. We're going to go for a random scientific term here.
Oh, yeah, National Public Radio. Okay. I think just what was the last scientific term you can remember learning?
You know what?
Yeah?
Let me check my notes for
Notes
this year's
for this-
segment. This year.
This year.
This week's segment.
It's only been 2 weeks, bud.
I know.
Lay off. You know what? I was watching Pointless the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and they listed a load of geological...
Oh, yeah.
Geological
Geological, that's a
eras
word.
that I'd
yeah.
never heard of before. So
Sure, yeah.
I'm just going to Google that and see if I remember one of those from there, because I don't
Mhm.
use that.
Yeah, well, the last thing I learnt about was involuntary musical imagery, which we will maybe touch back on a little bit.
Paleozoic. That was one that I learnt. So let's go with that. Probably spelt wrong, because I didn't actually keep the window open.
No, I love it. That's great.
And what is a piece of military hardware you think looks cool, even though
Even though
war is
war is
bad?
bad.
Yeah.
Gotta say, I'm not hugely up to date with my military hardware.
No.
What looks cool? Are jetpacks real?
No, not
Are you
really.
sure?
Yeah, they not. There's no military application of it yet, as of yet.
What do you even mean?
Well, as in there are people who are building jetpacks
Right.
privately,
Okay.
and it takes like a very specific
Mm-hmm.
kind of body core strength to be able to use it.
I'd be able to use it. In peak condition.
Joe, you have no core.
I think Apache helicopters look quite cool.
Fine, yeah, go for an
I'll
Apache
Go
helicopter.
for an Apache helicopter. Did I say that right? That's the one with the 2 rotors.
No, that's a Chinook.
That's a Chinook. Oh, I think a Chinook. That's a way better word.
The one that's got like two like that.
2 on the top. Yeah.
Yeah, one behind the other.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. That's definitely much cooler.
Yeah, that's a Chinook. Apache's the one that's guns.
Oh yeah. No.
You
No,
don't
no,
know
no.
guns. Guns are bad.
Guns are bad.
Yeah.
Helicopters are cool.
Mm. I am a sucker for a DMR.
You're gonna have to go into a little more detail for me.
Designated marksman rifle. You know, a sharpshooter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I like that, DMR. But yeah, guns are bad.
Mm-hmm.
War, bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Helicopters have multiple uses, though.
This is true, yeah. What's something you enjoy watching Mads Mikkelsen do?
The section for this is an entire page long.
Well, I mean, at the end, there is please condense
Please
into
condense
one word.
What's something I enjoy?
This
I'd
is a
enjoy
catastrophic waste of paper.
I'd enjoy watching Mads Mikkelsen do literally anything.
Yep,
The man's a chameleon.
he is. But he always has that one surly expression.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would really enjoy watching Mads Mikkelsen just have a wander around a zoo.
Yeah.
Just having a really fun time enjoying the animals. Like he'll see a lion and he'll give it that stare, and the lion will kind of step back and
Yeah.
what a strong Swedish gentleman.
Yeah.
But then he'll see like a like a possum or something, like a little cute, maybe like a nocturnal mammal,
Or a slow loris, or
like a slow loris. Mads Mikkelsen would go wild for a slow loris.
and by wild you mean just stare at it.
No, I want him to find one animal at the zoo
Yeah,
that he just breaks and like, oh, look at this.
gotcha.
What is something I'd enjoy watching Mads Mikkelsen do?
Squee.
I would like to watch Mads Mikkelsen squee at a slow loris in the context of not caring about any of the other zoo animals.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you condense that into one word,
It's a squee.
it's a squee.
Yep.
I would like to see Mads Mikkelsen on a CrossFit trainer.
Oh.
Just because, you know, he's been in some physically demanding roles,
Yeah, that's for sure.
but nothing is more physically demanding, like specifically physically demanding as not a CrossFit trainer, just a cross trainer.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because, you know, you got to move your arms and your legs.
What do you reckon his gym outfit is?
A full dinner jacket.
Interesting. I was seeing him in like a classic.
Unitard.
Grey... No, I was going like just a grey sweatpants and a hoodie. Like
Oh,
he's
like,
sweating through
like
that
Rocky.
thing. Like a Rocky. That's exactly
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
going for. I'm seeing him as a Rocky on that. But the unitard is getting me much more interested.
Gotcha. Yeah. So you know what? Yeah, unitard.
Unitard.
Yeah.
Excellent. Is that it? We've completed section 3 of the questionnaire.
Yeah.
And
Section
we've only
4.
been recording for an hour and a half.
Section 4, determining your name conditions. Sometimes a character will have a plot-based condition that affects their name. You, too, might have a condition that affects your name. Conditions can stack, so please make note of how many your name has.
Excellent.
So we're going to need to get the dice out.
Mm-hmm.
Got some rolling to do.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to start by finding out if we have the man condition.
Yes.
Hideo Kojima famously just adds the word man onto the end of half of his names.
I think there's like, even in Death Stranding, there's like dead man or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really hoping not to have the man condition because it's just so Kojima. Guess first. So 1 to 3, you do not have the condition.
Yep.
4, you do. So you do not.
1, okay, no worries.
And
man.
I do. Good.
Ooh.
Fantastic. Absolutely good. Right. So I'm a something man.
Yep.
Great. Okay, number 2, the condition. Roll a d8. Use this table to determine what this condition will do for you.
Mm-hmm.
So 1 to 5, you will not have this condition. 6, you're big. Your name must have big at the beginning of it.
Yep.
7, you are older than you once were. Therefore, your name must have old at the beginning of it. And 8, you are how you currently are. Please add your answer from section 2, number 11 to the beginning of this name.
Section 2, number 11, if we just scroll back a few... Oh, that's the condition our body is currently in.
Fantastic. Right. So yours is peak, mine's barrel.
Yep.
Right. So what was it? D8. So guess first. You have got 2. So you don't have this condition.
Mm-hmm.
And I am a 6. So I'm big. Good.
Yep,
This is going well.
You're a big man.
I'm a big man. Thank God it's not barrel man or something like that. So the clone condition. Roll a d12. Use this table to blah, 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 blah. So 1 to 11, you do not have this condition. 12, you are a clone of someone else. So Snake was probably the biggest example in the Solid Snake Metal Gear Solid thing, because Solid Snake, Liquid Snake, blah, 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 blah. They were all clones.
They're all snakes.
Yeah. So you have been brainwashed into becoming a mental doppelganger of someone else. Find someone who has completed this worksheet and replace 50% of it. I really
Can't wait to be Barrel Man.
So 10, so you're fine. 10, I'm also fine. Good.
Coming out pretty tame so far.
Section 5. No, still section 4. No?
We're still in section 4.
The Kojima condition. Roll a d100 or 2d10s, using one as the ones place and the other as the tens place. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay, cool. Use this table to determine if you have this condition. So 1 to 68 and 70 to 100, you do not have this condition. 69... oh no, you are Hideo Kojima. Hideo Kojima created you and also you. You are the man who created himself, and there is nothing you can do about it. You're in Kojima's world, your world, and that's just the breaks, pal. Stop this worksheet now. You're Hideo Kojima. That makes sense.
Wonderful.
Right, okay.
Let's find out.
I've just understood what the whole D10 thing is about, so yep, I'm good at maths. So you... Nope, you're fine.
53, no good.
I'm also fine.
Okay.
So neither of us are
Neither
Hideo
of us are
Kojima.
Kojima.
That's good.
A shame. That would be great.
That would be,
That would be your life to live.
Yeah, that would be a twist and a half. Right, section 5. Determine it. Yeah, because he is just. I played a little bit of Metal Gear Solid 5, I think, Phantom Pain. And yeah, Hideo Kojima's just in it.
Yeah, he just inserts himself into his own.
It's madness.
Stuff,
Right, section 5. Determining your name category. Kojima names fall into a finite number of categories. This section will determine the category in which your name belongs. Once you have figured out your name category, you can skip ahead to the section that outlines the rules of your name.
Sure.
So, right, let's do...
D20, let's find out what kind of name I have.
7. So 7 to 10.
Oh boy!
You have a horny name.
Oh boy, Kojima.
So we'll get to you in a minute. And I have 3. I have an occupational name. Good. Okay. So for the record, the rest of you, 1, you have a normal name. 2 to 6, occupational name. 7 to 10, a horny name. 11 to 13, you have a the name. I imagine that's something of the.
So
yeah. 14 to 17, you have a cool name. 18 to 19, you have a violent name. And by the way, cool name, that's as Hideo Kojima would classify it. And 20, you have a name that lacks subtext, like something man or big boss. Right, so...
Okay, so let's skip forward to section 8. Horny name.
Right, so horny name. So you need your answer from section 2, number 3.
Section 2, number 3. Oh, rabbit.
Rabbit.
Interesting.
Okay.
Not where I thought this was going.
Roll a d4. Use this table to determine your first name. So 2, your first name is Naked.
My first name is Naked.
Yep.
Almost everything that I've done, it's just... My name is Naked Rabbit.
3, if you like it, your middle name can be Lickable. I won't stop you. 4, any condition. Add any conditions. You didn't accrue any conditions, did you?
I didn't accrue any conditions. That's it.
Yeah, so your Hideo Kojima name
is Naked Rabbit.
Or Naked Lickable Rabbit. Depends to you.
We're gonna leave Naked L Rabbit.
Yes, I like that. L. Okay, and mine. What was I? I was occupational name, wasn't I? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. What conditions did I have?
You had the big condition and the man condition. How, buddy? What's your name?
Yep. Okay. So my Hideo Kojima name is Big Speaking Bummer Man. So henceforth, the Class Flack podcast will be hosted by Naked Rabbit and Big Bummer Speaking Man. No, Big Speaking Bummer Man.
Wow. That happened.
Yep. There is one last section that requires a little bit of ad-libbing, a little bit of improv.
Yeah.
So Kojima's characters know that their names are meaningful and they will tell you it completely unprompted. You too must explain the name to any potential friends, foes, or shadowy government institutes.
Hi, I'm Naked Rabbit.
What's the voice?
The voice is a Kojima voice.
This is true.
And if you're wondering how I got this name, well, let me tell you. It's because I'm fast. Fast like a rabbit. Try and catch me. You can't catch me. Can you catch a rabbit? You can't catch me. Why am I naked? You can't catch me. Can't grab anything. No clothes. Fast like a rabbit.
You're like the naked, greased up death guy from Family Guy. Oh, you can't catch me. Hello. I'm Big Speaking Bumming Man.
Yeah, you are.
And if you're wondering how I got this name, well, let me tell you. I had Greek food once. There were no survivors.
Incredible.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Kojima name generator. But yeah, I would greatly recommend going and checking out BDG, his show on Polygon Unraveled, and also his other stuff.
He's got another YouTube channel. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. It's great. I love it.
Yep.
With that, I think we shall move on to a different segment.
So, Joe, this is a normal segment, isn't it? You want to introduce it?
We're going normal segments today, so we're going to learn you a thing. I'm going to talk about something interesting, and you're going to go, wow, what an interesting thing that you've brought to me. I didn't know that.
Learning.
How do you ever just get a song really stuck in your head?
Yes.
So does everyone. This is what I want to talk to you about today. This is a phenomenon that has a number of different names, all equally a bit weird.
Okay.
It could be called stuck song syndrome, broken record syndrome, sticky music, Not a fan.
Not a fan of that. That has, well, I mean, you in particular.
I just don't like stickers.
No.
The scientific name is Involuntary Musical Imagery, which is...
I can see that.
Yeah. But the most popular name it's called for is an earworm.
Not a fan of that.
You're not a fan of that? No one's a fan of that.
I've heard broken record syndrome.
Have you?
Yeah, no, I've heard that before, and I think that's what if I were to describe it as something that's probably... Well, just, having a song in your head.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
But weirdly, the name earworm is caught off. It's a German Ohrwurm, which I've definitely pronounced correctly.
Yeah.
That just is the name that's stuck for it.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So that's weird. Apparently, 98% of people are affected by this. 2% of people never get a song stuck in their head. About 92% of people get affected by it at least weekly. Around a third of people find it annoying.
Yep.
About 15% of people find it disturbing. I've brought this to your attention because I...
like being unsettled by it.
A little unsettled. Sometimes I fall into that category.
Yeah.
I get songs stuck in my head. I've never known a time in my life, a second in my life, where I've not had something really stuck in my head.
Okay.
And there's always a track playing. If I'm working on some music, a lot of what I do is like arranging or rearranging existing pieces of music, which normally involves me kind of listening to it over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And that gets stuck at a really loud volume for like weeks. And it's like I don't want to listen to the song on repeat anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's I've been doing a bit of that recently, and I've just had a few songs just really, really just stuck in there, and I'm bored of them. And it makes me not want to do the projects that I'm working on because I don't want to have to sit down and keep listening to this. Yeah. It drives me actually crazy sometimes. Do you have anything that gets like repeatedly stuck in your head? Do you have anything that you come back to?
Yeah, I've got a couple that just kind of pop up every now and then when say the slot's empty.
Yeah.
Because I get this a lot as well. I do thankfully get like periods of respite. Where there's nothing. I don't think there's anything in my head at the moment.
Okay.
But for example, a couple of weeks ago, I had the song from Super Mario Odyssey.
Oh yeah, that got stuck in my head for a while when I was playing that.
It would be a case of I'd wake up in the morning and it's already playing. Yeah.
Do you ever get it in your dreams?
No, I never get it in my dreams.
I've had that a couple of times, and a couple of times recently where I've gone to bed with a song stuck in my head. Yeah, it's invaded my dreams, and I've woken up with the same song still there, and it's like, that's at least 6 hours you've been playing that same song on repeat. Yeah,
it's funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, ones that kind of pop up quite regularly: Jurassic Park.
Okay, yeah.
The Mario tune,
the classic one. Yeah.
What else? That annoyingly, and I hate it with a fucking passion, the Thomas the Tank Engine theme tune.
Excellent.
That rears its ugly head every now and then. Sometimes it's the Dank version, which is sometimes funny. I'm like, oh, this is funny, and then it will bleed out to the normal version. I was like, well, this is my life for the next couple of days.
Yep.
There's a couple more, but I can't remember them at the moment. I'll message you in the middle of the night when
do it.
Just ugly
when
head.
Something really pops into your head.
Yeah.
I'd like to know what anyone listening to this is affected by as well. If you get any songs,
Jurassic Park is just started.
It will happen, right? If you get any songs that constantly pop into your head, let us know because I'm really interested in this since I started researching it.
All that's going on in my head.
Send us an email in at pod@classflack.com, or if you're watching this on YouTube, drop us a comment below because I'm genuinely interested. The one that, since I was a young kid, I have literally no idea why, but it pervades, normally like when I'm walking.
Yep.
It's not necessarily a good walking speed. Sometimes it really slows down to match my speed.
Yep.
You know the one song that's ever played on bagpipes?
Yes, yeah, I do know.
That song has been stuck in my head for about 20 years.
I'm so sorry.
It's just that. It's not always bagpipe sound, thankfully.
Oh, God. Because it's never really like an instrument, I'd find.
No, it's always just kind of just abstract melody.
Yeah.
Although, again, depends if I've been really listening to a song. Sometimes it's the full band and I'll individually lock on to each different part of it.
Yeah, no, yeah.
And that's annoying. But yeah, that song, which I only discovered what it actually is relatively recently in the last couple of years, it's a song called Scotland the Brave, which is lovely. There's
it's got to be
lyrics
brave
to
as it's invading your mind.
Yeah, it is. There's lyrics to it, which are basically, Scotland is great, fuck England. Which means for 20 years of my life, I've just been walking around and being like, your country sucks, it really sucks, your country sucks. So
Incredible.
That's great. There's been a couple of studies done into this. That all the ones that I have found have been in kind of the last 20 years or so.
Yeah.
I'm sure there were things before that, but I guess the internet wasn't around before that, so I wouldn't be able to find them as much.
Really?
Books. Could have looked at books. Wasn't going to look at books.
No, it's fine.
There was quite an interesting study done this year.
Books.
Books. You can't scroll through books. There's a study called, a really catchy title, Individual Traits That Influence the Frequency and Emotional Characteristics of Involuntary Musical Imagery, an Experience Sampling Study.
That's not a title.
Yep. That was the essay.
Good.
Which is quite an interesting study which looked at obsessive compulsive tendencies and musical expertise to see if that influenced the rate of getting songs stuck in your head.
Yeah.
Both of which are kind of yes. If you have obsessive compulsive tendencies, then you will find that you'll have songs stuck in your head more often, and you will also tend to find it less pleasant.
Yeah.
If you've got musical expertise, then you will have it stuck in your head more often. The music will often be a bit more complex, but you tend not to really care about it.
Yeah.
And it tends to be kind of loops of like 15 to 30 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, do you get the entire song in your head?
No. That seems to be the trait of it. It's 15 to 30 seconds of a song on a loop. You will tend to see it more often with kind of repetitive music where it will loop without you realizing that it's looped.
Yeah.
I have had it before where it just like harshly stops, cuts back to the start of the loop and carries on again.
It's almost like a kind of going into manual breathing mode. I find that like if you kind of what's the word, indulge the song and play throughout the whole song in your head, it almost eases it. But then if you're not giving it attention, it will just do the chorus.
It's interesting you should mention that because there's a couple of different ways that supposedly you can try and get rid of an earworm.
Yeah.
One of them is to consciously finish the song in your head, or to plug in some headphones and listen to it.
Yes.
And then you kind of get over it, you get the respite from it, and you go, you get that little moment of release, and then you get on with your day until something else pops its head in there. Another one you can do is apparently chewing gum will help you out.
Yeah, I can see that.
Or you can try and distract yourself with a different song.
Yeah.
The most popular and supposedly most effective song to distract yourself with is God Save the Queen, which is just the worst. I can kind of see why it would work because it's so slow and dreary and just an upsetting melody that I think it bores your brain.
I just yawned. I had to stifle a yawn just thinking about it. I mean, I know. Are you sure it's just not a ploy to encourage patriotism?
So possibly
patriotism,
but patriotism.
Yeah.
Because I tried this the other day. I had a song stuck in my head for ages, and I'd just been doing this research. Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? Let's try out a little tactic. Let's sing the national anthem, start to finish, in my head, and it cleared out the song delightfully. And I went, that was great. 2 hours later. What do I clock onto?
God Save the Queen.
God Save the Queen, which in the interim time, I'd rearranged a bit in my head to have a little bit of a jazzy lounge feel to it.
Good.
That was not welcome in my head, Hal.
No.
That was a solid 2 hours of me just singing God Save the Queen in my head without noticing that I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I could absolutely do without that.
Yeah. I think I've done the tactic of using another song to get that song out. I would never use a song that I didn't like, or liked even less. Like if I had Thomas fucking Tank Engine in my head, I would not want the national anthem replacing it. I'd be happy with Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah,
and that's a really annoying song.
I love it. I think it's great. I think it's a wonderful composition.
Incorrect. I mean, probably yes, but it's I mean, they talk about songs being ruined by being overplayed on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Thomas the Tank Engine's been really overplayed on the radio.
yeah.
Yeah,
And by radio, I mean my brain.
Another study that was done, this was between 2010 and 2013, and I know you love a pop quiz, so I'm going to throw a pop quiz at you here. It's okay if you don't get the answers.
Okay.
Because I'd be a bit surprised if you did.
Yeah.
There was a study done between 2010 and 2013 in the UK, over 3,000 people, and it identified 9 songs that were the most popular songs to get stuck in people's heads.
Yeah.
Can you give me any kind of ideas on what you think there might have been 2010 to 2013 in the UK? I can tell you that
It was Wonderwall.
it wasn't Wonderwall,
Ah.
but it definitely could have been. 3 out of the 9 were the same artist.
Okay.
You know who the artist would be?
Craig David.
Obviously, the immediate answer, Craig David. Craig David's your answer. Yeah, surprisingly, the top 3 were Craig David.
Yeah. Britney Spears.
No, it was
Christina
Lady Gaga.
Aguilera. Lady
You're
Gaga.
kind of in a vein of blonde pop stars, I guess.
Yeah.
Quite interesting.
Reliving
though.
my youth.
The 3 songs, Bad Romance was the number 1 on the list, and then Alejandro and Poker Face were down on the bottom.
I was going to say Poker Face must have been in there somewhere.
But none of those songs were charting at that time. They were a few years out. Or as far as I'm aware, I did a very small bit of research and I don't have a huge background knowledge on Lady Gaga.
No.
But
Poker Face was around.
Poker Face didn't stop
No.
for a while. So those would be kind of to be expected.
Mm-hmm.
The other options, number 3 was Don't Stop Believin', Journey.
Of
I
course.
think that was around
Glee.
the time that Glee happened.
Glee, yeah.
So that was everywhere. Somebody they used to know, Gautier. Gautier?
Gotcha.
That was Gotcha.
No, I said gotcha. That's not how you say his name.
Gotcha.
I think it's Gautier.
Gautier.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, no, he was. I mean, when
that was huge at the time. That
Yeah.
was 2011.
As was a band called Walk Off the Earth.
They did a version of it, yeah.
Where like 6 peeps, 1 guitar,
One guitar,
and
yeah.
that went viral.
Massively so, yeah.
Yeah. Also a good video. Go check that out.
Yeah. Moves Like Jagger, Maroon 5.
Of course.
California Girls, Katy Perry. Bohemian Rhapsody.
Well, that never goes away.
Never goes away. My favourite one on the list, number 2, Can't Get You Out of My Head, Kylie Minogue. Apparently, she was bloody right.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if, knowing the nation that this was being tested, if it wasn't just a pun.
Genuinely, if you were just asked what song gets stuck in your head, I guess it would pop in there.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
But
Was the entire Control who answered that Dad's?
yeah, it was definitely. But another quite interesting thing that this study, my notes are a little bit jumbled, so apologies to the makers of the study if you listen to this podcast, which I assume that you are. If some of this information came from the other study or something else that I was reading, but they kind of dissected. The study was called Dissecting an Earworm, so it was about what kind of thing gets stuck in your head.
Yeah.
So they found the vast majority of it was songs with lyrics, which makes a lot of sense. 73% of it, and then a smaller percentage was jingles or ads, or less than that was instrumental music.
Interesting.
I normally get instrumental stuff stuck in my head.
Same.
But I also play mostly instrumental stuff and listen to a lot of instrumental stuff, so I guess that would be more likely to pop in there.
Yeah.
But would you say that as well? I guess Thomas Tank Engine.
Yeah.
It's always Thomas.
Can you imagine lyrics to that? No, I'd say if I get a song with lyrics in my head, it's the music I get stuck. It's not.
Interesting.
It's not the lyrics.
I'm with you on that.
Mm.
But yeah, apparently majority of the population, no, it's the lyrics that get in there.
Interesting.
I guess it's the easiest thing to latch onto if you're not actively listening to a song. It's the lyrics that grab you in.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, it's not. I mean, yeah. For me personally, I tend to not look at the lyrics at all if I can help it. There's quite a few times where, like, if I latch onto a song that I like, as opposed to getting it in my head, I'll try and find an instrumental version.
See, I'm actually exactly the same. I tend not to listen to the lyrics of songs, or not even actively not listening. I'm just more interested in what the instruments are doing. I'm more interested in what's happening in the music.
Same.
It's the way that interlocks with each other and creates the rhythms and the harmonies that that then someone just kind of sings over.
Yeah.
I would usually be much more interested in the melody and the rhythm of it than the actual words.
I think there's like a couple of exceptions to that, but yeah, I'm exactly the same.
It's very possible that just the majority of the music that people listen to is songs with lyrics. People listen to much less instrumental stuff as a whole. But there's a few characteristics of it, which I'm going to come back to the songs that you mentioned earlier and see if it matches with these.
Yeah.
So they're usually faster, not fast, but faster pace.
Yep.
With a kind of generic and easy to remember melody. They will sometimes have repetitive. They'll sometimes be repetitive, or they'll have melodic shapes that are typically found in Western pop music.
Okay.
E.g., it's kind of the rising and falling motion in a melody, like Twinkle Twinkle.
Yep. Yeah.
It kind of creates a whole phrase.
Yep.
Interestingly, the things that get stuck in your head sometimes have an unusual interval structure. What I mean by that is it will have unusual leaps between notes that you'll not expect. So a lot of music is kind of stepwise motion, so it will go do 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 do.
Yeah.
But sometimes go boop 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 boop. Unusual interval structure.
Yeah, I'm with
that
you.
wasn't a good example. That was a bad song.
But I understand what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, so it will have unexpected leaps, or it will have more repeated notes than you might expect. The two examples that it gives in the study are My Sharona, which has that octave leap at the start.
Yeah.
Also quite a lot of repetition.
Yep.
Or In the Mood by Glenn Miller. Which is it's got that repeated note at the top.
Yeah.
And also kind of rises and falls. Which I think is really interesting, because I've been looking at those characteristics and associating with songs that get stuck in my head. So Scotland the Brave has exactly all of those things. It's got the rising and falling, easily dissectable melody.
It does.
With a bit of repetition on the notes at the start and a bit of a leap in there.
Yeah.
Thomas the Tank Engine, very generic melody.
Yeah. A little bit up and down.
It's got a bit of up and down on it. If you're looking through some of the...
Just thinking Jurassic Park as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of repetition.
Yeah.
A lot of leaps in there. Things like Poker Face, that's a lot of repetition and lots of repeated notes in it.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. I've not found an example of anything that gets stuck in my head that doesn't associate with any of that. There was a less scientific study, I think it was just a news article or a magazine did one in 2016 that identified some more recent ones. Pharrell Williams, Happy. Didn't leave anyone's head for years.
I can't remember how that goes.
No. God, you're a lucky man.
Yeah.
You've got your big leaps. You've got your repeated notes. You've got your simple melody that kind of goes up and down. Just found it really interesting.
Is it so much like what makes something easier to get into your head, or is it just kind of what makes it, pleasing?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question, because I don't know if the songs that are most likely to get stuck in your head are necessarily the most popular songs, or they have the characteristics of a song that makes a good earworm, or the song that makes a good chart topper. Because
another good example, which is thrown around quite a lot when you talk about kind of more recent popular music, is kind of the Ed Sheeran chords.
Yeah.
They all kind of use the same chord structure,
Absolutely,
which is not inherently a bad thing.
It's fine.
But you get them stuck in your head.
Get them really stuck in your head, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's done all right for himself.
Yeah, a little bit, just a bit. Obviously, the structure of the music does fit a lot of those, but but that's another example of, is that, I suppose, music that sells the best is music that gets stuck in your head.
I mean, potentially there is a correlation, and it probably feeds into itself. Music that gets stuck in your head, you want to listen to more, and therefore you'll buy it and you'll chart it, or the music is good enough to be in the charts in the first place, and therefore is listened and then is played a lot, so it gets stuck in your head.
Yeah,
there's definitely that kind of loop that feeds into itself.
So basically, it's a conspiracy.
Yeah,
for the government, the music industry. So, it's ruling our brains.
Basically, if you're an aspiring musician and you want to make money, follow those tips.
Yeah.
Give yourself a basic melody, a lot of repetition. I mean, none of this is particularly mind-bending stuff. That's how music is made.
Yeah.
That's how pop songs are made.
It's interesting though, come to think about it, because, like, for instance, I mean, a lot of music scores, cinema scores. That's what I mean.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, which is what I tend to get stuck in my head a lot more. Follow the same kind of thing, like the Avengers is another one I've just remembered.
Right, that gets stuck in your quite a lot.
All the time.
A lot of repeated notes.
Yeah.
And a big leap. Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight away in the octave.
Whereas Interstellar, absolutely incredible score, has an unusual time signature, and I would not be able to tell you at all what it sounds like. I know it sounds incredible,
but it doesn't get stuck in your head.
No.
Yeah. That's the thing. You've got to. I think you've got to have a hook, something to latch onto. Do you ever get phrases stuck in your head, not musical at all?
What do you mean?
Like a repeated spoken word phrase.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
It's a weird thing. I've not found any research on this. I'm purely going by my girlfriend, who will have that more often than she gets songs stuck in her head. I just find that really interesting.
Yeah.
You'll get phrases, usually phrases, just quotes from the first Harry Potter movie. The same few, over and over. The Dudley's birthday scene in Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
Yep.
I'll walk into the kitchen, and I'll just see her sitting to herself. Here he comes, the birthday boy. Really creepily.
It just sounds like a very specific form of schizophrenia.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll have a word to her.
Yeah.
Found very little about this online, but there's a very small number of people, a couple of like Reddit posts and things like that, of people that see this.
I think I do, yeah, because you know how you like have shower fights.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, if you have like a specific part of a shower fight, I know it's not always fights.
No, but if you've got a really good comeback,
yeah, maybe that will stick in my head for a bit, and it'll kind of. Right. But then I kind of always think of that because I've got an internal monologue. Do you have an internal monologue?
Yeah.
Not everyone has an internal monologue.
This was relatively recent news to me.
Yeah,
I find that fascinating. Yeah, I chat to myself constantly. I find it much easier than talking to other people.
Oh, right, yeah. You've got so much in common.
Yeah.
This kind of came up a while ago, and I kind of reached out to various people, like just on WhatsApp, when I think we read an article about it or something.
Yeah, it was in the news not too long ago.
Like earlier in the year, I think. Yeah. My sister, for example, does not have an internal monologue whatsoever.
That's bizarre.
It's really, really bizarre. And we were obviously... as finding this out, kind of exchanging, like, well, how do you do this? How do you read? And she's just like, oh, the words just go in. I'm like, yeah, do you not hear yourself reading?
Yeah, you hear yourself reading. You hear your voice doing the voices of other people.
Yeah. So going back to kind of like the phrase thing, I think I'd always... It's... Because I don't always hear me. If I like can remember lines from a film or something like that, then...
it'll be in those voices.
Yeah, but I kind of just think that as, oh, you've got a thought rattling around in my head. Yeah, and it just happens to be because I've got an internal monologue, I'm saying it in my head.
Okay, that kind of makes sense.
Also, trying to explain internal monologue and thinking with an internal monologue to someone who doesn't have one makes you sound insane.
I have no idea how that conversation would even go.
No.
Where do you even start with that? That's fascinating.
Find someone who doesn't have an internal monologue and just ask them questions like, how do you read?
Yeah, wow.
How do you remember things? That kind of thing. You know, you can waste a good half hour just exchanging, well, I read like this. That's exactly the opposite of how I read.
I would love to do that. Anyone I know that's listening to this that doesn't have an internal monologue, let's talk about that. I would love to do that. Well, there you go. That wraps us up quite nicely.
Brain's a funny thing.
Brains are weird.
Yeah.
Now you know a little bit more about how songs get into your head and what happens about them. I find it really, really interesting because it happens to me so often, and sometimes it's so annoying.
Yeah. Well, it's just part and parcel of music, isn't it? Music as a whole is just a strange thing because it's just noises.
It is.
But why is it pleasing?
The noises makes you feel.
Why does it make you feel? Do the fun feels? Some music makes sad.
Find out next time on the Class Flack podcast. Why music does feel.
Okay, right. So on that philosophical note, let's move on to our final segment, which is of course talking about this week.
What have you been up to?
This week.
Sorry, that was the name of the.
Yeah, and then the thing came in.
Also asking the question.
So what have you been up to?
Oh, you've asked me instead.
Yes.
I've had a lovely time this week. I went away a bit at the weekend.
Mm.
And had an absolutely delightful time. I went and stayed in a cabin in the middle of the woods, away from literally everything.
Yeah. And thankfully, no supernatural occurrences.
Hopefully not. I'd really thoroughly recommend just doing something like that. I had a fantastic time of just, like, as we all know, 2020 is a nightmare.
Worst.
Just the worst thing that's happened to years. And it was just really nice to not have to worry about anything except for like chopping some wood and building a fire.
Did you actually?
I chopped some wood. I built some fire.
Yeah.
Worked quite well. I'd love to say I was the better of the two of us at doing it. Absolutely was not. But yeah, it was just really, really genuinely nice. And if you're in a position where you can do something like that, I did it through Airbnb. You can just filter by cabins. They've got actually a really interesting section of like unique stays kind of thing. I did look for a cave or a castle or a tree house or a windmill, which are all filterable terms.
Yeah.
I just get away, get into the woods, don't look at a screen for a while. Preferably check first that there's no murderers or creatures.
Do a sweep,
yeah.
Yeah.
Had a lovely time.
Sounds it.
What have you been up to?
We were going to talk about The Boys.
Yeah, quick disclaimer. I forgot while I was in the woods to finish watching The Boys.
Yep.
You didn't.
No, I forgot until today. Well, I say forgot, and I deliberately left and watched the last 3 or 4 episodes today, so it'd be fresh in my brain, ready for talking about.
Yep.
Can't do that now.
Yep.
Someone dropped the ball. You've had 2 weeks.
I have had 2 weeks. Has it been 2 weeks?
Since...
Was that on last Friday? No, 1 week.
No, it's only 1 week. Yeah.
1 week. Phew, I was going to say I've not dropped the ball that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. We did say that we were going to do a roundup of the season because it's something that we're both watching. I can do a roundup of the season up till the last episode.
No,
but
we'll
not the last episode.
Wait, we may not do it next week. We might just have a quick bonus thing
Yeah,
where we
we
talk
might
about
just have a bit of a
talk about The Boys.
Yeah,
Boys.
good show, isn't it?
Yeah,
Boys.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's real good.
Does it end well?
It does.
Cool.
I'd say.
All right.
But that's all I'll say, and we'll also talk about this another time.
We'll find a good way to talk about it because I like talking about it. It's a good show.
Yeah, it's a really good show. Other than that, I've just been watching absolutely loads of YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what's your current YouTube hole? What have you fallen down?
So I watched all of Unraveled.
Yeah, as you ought to.
But there's not actually that much of that, is there?
They're long episodes, but they take them months to make.
Yeah, this is true. A current YouTuber that I'm watching a lot is a guy called DankPods.
Okay.
And what he's an iPod channel where he will do a thing with an iPod. Or review old, he calls them nuggets, old style MP3 players.
So really, really modern man, just reviewing the latest technology.
Latest technology, classic technology,
right? Okay.
Loads of iPod modding, that kind of thing. It sounds dull as all hell, but he's another Australian, and he's just so naturally funny that he can be talking about potentially the most boringest thing in the world, but he's just hilarious. Yeah. He's some interesting stuff he talks about. He talks a lot about audio files as well, so you might actually like that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But he's just so funny.
Cool.
Just naturally funny.
Drop a little subscribe. Yeah.
He's the one I was telling you the other day about. He bought Raycons.
Oh, you were telling me about that. Yeah. I think I've had that pop up in my recommendations.
Yeah.
Recently.
Yeah. This dude bought a pair of Raycons because he kept on being offered sponsorship from them.
Yeah.
and it's very interesting. I'm not going to say anything, just in case.
Yeah. No spoilers for this particular YouTube video.
Well, I mean,
about a product review.
I meant more to say just in case.
Just in case Raycon's going to sponsor us, we won't say anything bad about them.
I mean, they apparently sponsor everyone.
Excellent. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's interesting to see an unbiased opinion from someone who knows a lot about, because he's a musician.
Yeah, sure.
I should have mentioned that earlier. So he knows about audio frequencies, that kind of thing, and what actually makes a good pair of earphones. So yeah, I would recommend that to start with, and also it's one of the funniest.
Okay, well there you go. I'm on board.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, that's what we've been up to.
Yeah.
Let's do a plug or two. Hal, where can we find you?
So you can find me on my Twitter, which is @Hal_Dimond, on my Instagram, which is @HalDimond, and on my YouTube channel, which you may be watching this at. Mm-hmm. So if you're already there, what's that about? YouTube.com/HalDimond. What about you, Joe?
You can find me in the woods mostly these days, actually.
Yeah.
You can find me on my Instagram account, which is Joe Goddard Music. Joe is J-O. And the same on. There's no easy way of
J-O.
It just okay. Sorry, you can find me at Joe Goddard Music. And that's Joe spelt J-O. There's no way of saying that without sounding a bit weird.
It's Joe spelt J-O.
Okay, well you can do it next time.
Thanks. You can find Joe at Joe Goddard Music. That's J-O.
Okay, fine. You're good at speaking. We learned that you're good at speaking.
I'm the speaking bummer, man.
Big speaking
bummer man.
Big speaking bummer man.
Yeah.
You can also find me at YouTube at the same Joe Goddard Music.
That's Joe spelled J-O.
Oh, thanks, Hal. Appreciate that.
Yeah. That's two different ways that you can say it without sounding weird.
That I feel like is what I was saying.
J-O.
If you want to reach us both, if you want to talk to us about podcasty stuff.
If you want to reach the podcast. You can go via our intern pod at pod. I like that joke.
Use it again. We'll use it every week.
It's pod@classflack.com.
That's an email address.
Yes, you have to email. Yeah.
If you're watching on YouTube, drop us a comment. That'd be nice to see. Tell us what songs get stuck in your head. Tell us if you've got an inner monologue. Tell us what weird YouTube stuff you've been watching.
Is it a song that'll get on your nerves?
It is a song that'll get on your nerves.
Get on your nerves.
Oh God, why?
Get on your nerves.
Oh God, why?
Because I know a song that'll get on your nerves.
It's been lovely having you here. We need to end the podcast.
Bye, guys.
Bye.